Hey everyone, it's Karen Jean from Ex Libris Crafts. Welcome back to the channel. This is part 2 of our making a journal. And what we're doing this time is we are going to actually, we made the base of the book and now we're going to cover it. And I've chosen this fabric, which matches the paper very nicely. So I've chosen this fabric as the fabric that we're going to use to cover the journal. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on over to the ironing board and get going with that. Okay, I'm over here at the ironing board. I can't get it to angle further enough over the ironing board, so we'll just have to go with this. Anyway, so this is what I'm using. I bought a whole bolt of this years ago. Heat and Bond, Thermal Web Heat and Bond Light, iron-on adhesive. $1.99 when I bought it. Again, bought it by the bolt years and years ago. I have cut the fabric out to my desired size. I'm sorry you guys are off. It's going off screen, but there's nothing I can do about that. And I'm just going to press this out because it's a bit wrinkly, right? I'm going to press this out. I'm going to get some water to hit that spot there. Move Heat and Bond. There we go. Just press it out. Now, this Heat and Bond piece is actually bigger than what I need it to be. Heat and Bond, I think, I don't know how, maybe 20 inches, 24 inches. I don't know how wide it is. So, but when you cut the Heat and Bond, it has this piece of plastic, as you can see. All right, a piece of plastic that's wrapped around with it that separates, that helps you separate it. Make sure you remove that before you use it, obviously, or else you'll be melting plastic on your ironing board. Okay, so this piece, and you see how it's going over what I need it to be. I'm gonna see, it's the edge there that got rolled. So, there. I do not have, I used to have, I do not have the, let me just press it down a little bit here. I save the backings usually to the Heat and Bond because then I can use it as a sandwich. I could cover the top of this with that piece. You could use parchment paper too. But my parchment paper is downstairs and I'm not. And I'm too lazy to go get it. So I'm just ironing this down. Okay. Now, boy, that's not sticking. If I have it all down nice, and see it's pulling up here. Normally I would iron it from the other side. From the paperback side of the Heat and Bond, when this cools, I could just, if I peel up the fabric, it will not pull up the extra Heat and Bond with it, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Okay, what do I do with the book? Here's the book. Now, see, that's that corner, except that, oh, my aching back. Let me see what I have. Well, I could always just use regular paper. I can iron regular paper. I iron regular paper all the time when I'm dyeing my paper, right? Peel that away. And the Heat and Bond will be on the paper, not on my iron. That's the plan anyway. All right. There we go. Yep, there it is. Ugh. And there's still some Heat and Bond on this paper over here. So if I wanted to use this as a cover sheet, I would have to cut that off. But I need to trim off. Let me get my scissors. I need to trim off this excess Heat and Bond. Now I cut this, I think I cut it 10 or 11 inches by maybe 15, 14, I don't know. Extra, anyway, I cut it extra big. Oh, these scissors are not my fabric scissors. They're my glue scissors. Oh. Don't like using my fabric scissors with this because it's glue. But anyway, so there's that. Throw that away. I'm actually going to cut into the fabric just a tad so that I know that I don't have any excess Heat and Bond hanging off the edge for when I iron it into the book. And this way I don't have to glue it into the book. It'll be ironed on and it will be very secure. Oh, there's a section right there with no Heat and Bond on it. What's up with that? Oh, you can't see it, but I can feel it right there. This section right here. So what I'm going to do is this little extra piece of Heat and Bond that we had hanging out. I will just cut a bit of that off, okay? And lay it down right there on top. And iron it down. Use a low heat iron for this. There are directions on that piece of plastic on the Heat and Bond. Okay, so that's ironed down. It's not fully ironed down though, of course. Hang on. I don't want to pull up the Heat and Bond that's already there. So I'm just trying to go to the edge with the tip of the iron. All right, that's the best I can do. Pull up the backing paper. Oh, my back is starting to spasm. There we go. All right. So, move these things aside. Double strength Heat and Bond. So, the way we do it, oh, excuse me, I have to stretch my back. The way I'm going to do this is, no, you're not going to iron, you're going to iron the inside first. You're going to do the flaps first. Now, what I do here, let me move the water bottle. I'll do it up here so you can see. I'm angling the cut here. And, you know, using that as the guide to make sure it's straight. And I'm doing this on all four corners so that I should probably trim it down a little bit. The other side is even more of a, yeah, so we do this so that you don't have all that bulk on the corner. It's the same thing you do when you're doing paper, right? So, there you go. You can see that a little bit, flipping up the bottom. Pressing that in. Done. Flipping it over. Pulling it snug, Make sure it's snug, but you don't want to warp the box because that's your book frame. Just pull it snug so that you don't have any little, you know, excess hanging on. Doesn't really matter, but there. And you see how this is starting to curl up a little bit. That's fine. When we iron the other side, it'll take care of it. Same here. Pull it snug, press it down, and then that'll also be extra adhered when we cover the inside front cover. Whoops, missing a piece there. When we cover the inside front cover with paper. There. Now, see how this corner here must have been off on my angle a little bit. Nothing I can do about that now. And then I'm just going to press it here on the outside, which perhaps is not necessary, but there's our book. Isn't that pretty? Okay. Okay, we're back here to the desk area, and I took a little side trip. I had to go through all my twines to see which would be the best one to use, and I have a feeling it's probably going to be the yellow because the pink is too bright, orange is not even in here, and there's no purple, which is bizarre for me because my love of purple. Also, I grabbed all the papers that I had hand dyed to see what we can put in here, and I'm using this one. This one seems to have the colors in it. So we can put in some pinks. Yeah. I really don't have an aqua that color. My green, well, maybe I can see my greens. My greens are really torn, and actually what I can do is, see, look at these. These greens have seen better days. I can patch them. I'll pull them out. I can patch them with some of the pink maybe. That's always fun. I had fun. I did that in a journal, and I had fun doing that. So I'll pull these out too. Wrong blue, wrong blue. I'm seeing these are the wrong colors. Purple again, coffee dye. I usually don't coffee dye paper. That's why that's sitting there. And again, pink. So, and maybe we'll just do, these pinks don't have any sparklies in them. So maybe we'll do, maybe we'll just pull some of these out. Also, I need to go through my 12 by 12 paper pads, not the cardstock, but the actual paper, to see what might go in here as well. So maybe I will not be using the iridescent papers. Let me put them back. And let me just pull out a stack of plain old pink. Plain old pink. Why don't we just do that? And I'm just pulling them all out. I have no idea how many, and I don't know how many I'm going to need. This one is ripped, but we can fix that with washi tape, or we can patch it. Okay. So, now the question is the inside covers. Let me put this paper away. Ooh, looks like I need to make more paper. Okay, the inside covers. So, let's put this aside. I have to go through my stash to see what all else. This is, why don't, would that be too much? We could use the black as a cover, inside, front and back cover. What do you think? What do you think? I think maybe that's what I'm going to do. It's not something I don't think I would put actually in the journal. So, okay. I like it, but again, the black. So let's move these paper packs away. Stick them over here in the project bin. So we already know it's 5 by 7. So we should cut it to 4.5 by 6.5. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. So we need this side to be 6.5 here, because that's the way the direction goes. So I'm pulling out my my Fiskars trimmer. Let me move the book over. And so we needed 6.5 tall, 6.5. That'll leave a 1/4 inch on all around it. So 6.5. And then we needed, let me fold that back up again, 2 at 4.5. So here we have 4.5 and 4.5. Bingo. And we save the scraps. Now the next question is, let me get the book back. Do we want to round the corners? Oh, wait a second. That's not the next question. The next question is, what am I going to put down on the inside here? I could put another piece of fabric. Okay, so I found a pretty pink fabric. Doesn't still have some bleed through there, but so here we go. And these are going to be glued down. Like so and like so. All right, so let's do that. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think it matters which is front and which is back. Now we can use liquid glue or we can use tape. I think that I want to use tape because liquid glue can leave a bit of a bump or marks even though we're doing cardstock. Okay, so we have a bit of a voiceover here. This section is speeded up just a little bit. I'm just showing one side of the inside cover of the book, me taping down, putting tape on and taping it into the book. Obviously, the other inside cover was done the exact same way. What I realized after I had put these inside covers in, the fabric actually has, it actually looks like it's upside down and right side up, the pattern on it. I thought it was an all over pattern, but it's not. So what I did was I was able to actually pull up the inside, front, and back cover pieces here. And then I just put a little bit of liquid glue on them, a little bit of art glitter glue, and put them back in right side up or the correct way. And and then was able to secure them all in very nicely so that there's no worries about those covers coming off at all. They're glued in there very securely. So, and so yeah, and that's just, you make the flags and pull up the paper. There we go. Here we have our journal frame. And I will go ahead and pull out the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And pull out my jewelry crimping tool. Put that, make sure it's snug in there and just bend it down like so, and that kind of covers that little, comes in far enough that it covers where we were seeing the brown of the cardboard. See how this little bit here doesn't match right there. The fabric isn't quite coming together. This will cover that. Make sure it's snug into the corner. we have to pick out papers. We have to decide what kind of closure we want. There. There. Snug as a bug in a rug. So, part 2. Is this part 2? I don't even remember. Part 2 complete. Our journal frame. This is Karen Jean from X Sleepers Crafts. We're only limited by our own imaginations. Let yours run wild. Thanks for stopping by.